Mantherapy.org recently updated its website. Can you tell us what some of the new features are and what is still yet to come?
We restructured how the content is built on the site. So we have an explore topics in the main navigation, and it allows guys to jump into really key areas of their mental health that they might be interested in finding out about. We've also added in some positive psychology, things like thriving, things like resilience, relationships and friendships. So we have a range of different categories, and these kind of serve as our core pillars for allowing men to turn information into action. So if they, for instance, navigated to the thriving page, they can go down and learn everything there is to know about not merely surviving with their mental health, but how they can actually go about thriving. From there, they can get into our proprietary content, things like our agenda of mental health, tips and testimonials all about thriving. They can then get connected to resources specific to thriving. So we now have these core pillar pages that organize the over 500 resources that we have on site, and users can look at it through one specific paradigm. One of the new features that we still have yet to come on the site is our Spanish only speaking version of the site. So we've gone through, transcreated the copy and the content throughout the Man Therapy experience and recreated it for a Spanish only speaking population. So we have right now a limited amount of marketing materials that we can get out into a community that utilizes Spanish language, that can then get Spanish only speaking users onto the site. If they prefer to go through the experience in Spanish, Man Therapy will now be able to meet those users exactly where they're at. We're targeting the end of January for the full launch, but there will be pieces trickling out likely all the way through January. Another new part of the site is our worried about someone. So we've enhanced this portion of the site. We actually saw on the old version of the site that this was one of our top visited pages. So when someone out in the marketplace or in the community comes across Man Therapy, and maybe they're not a man, part of our primary target audience, but they know someone who is struggling and they're having trouble breaking through, we see a lot of users on our previous site going to this section of the site. So we wanted to enhance that experience. We've created a worried about someone wizard, if you will. So it's an experience where someone can click into what they might be thinking someone is struggling with, or we have a I'm not sure. It allows them to then frame all of the content and the resources that exist on the site and connect them to specific resources that maybe are not for them, but allows them to understand how they can go about helping someone who, it's essentially another way for us to frame resources and connect folks and educate folks with resources on how to help someone out, whether that's, learning about how to start a conversation, learning about, some of the supportive things that they can say, some of the supportive things they can do regardless of what someone is going through, whether that's, anxiety or struggling with relationships or, even suicidal ideation. So it's a new way for us to frame content and deliver content to a new audience. So whether it's not working age men specifically, but really anyone who has a man in their life and they're a little bit concerned about that. So that's a brand new feature of the site that we'll continue to build on and grow and enhance.
The 18-point head inspection, or Man Therapy's equivalent of a mental health assessment, now includes more in-depth results. Can you discuss what is new and how this change will help those who are using the site?
What we learned from the previous iteration of the site was that Man Therapy is really good at getting guys to come onto the site and complete a mental health assessment. Where we did see a little bit of disconnect, or not necessarily disconnect, but just an area for improvement that we really wanted to capitalize on, was getting guys after this mental health assessment to take that next step. So again, with the goal of allowing men to turn information into action, we expanded on what these head inspection results look like. So not only are you going to understand where you fall on a scale, for topics like depression, anger, substance use, or anxiety, you're also going to be able to, right on that head inspection results page, dive deeper into each one of those categories. So when you land on that page, there's actually going to be tabs where you can click through and not only get an overview of, hey, here's what depression is all about. You're not alone. But here are ways that you can arm yourself with knowledge. Here's, other guys like you who are going through the same thing. You can learn from some testimonials. And then you can get specific topic-related resources right on that results page. So again, you can get guys to take that next step, utilize a resource, watch a testimonial video, or get right into some Gentle Mental Health 101 and learn the foundation and the basics or whatever they might be looking for. So it's much more robust at that results page level. And then a really exciting new feature is allowing men to actually email those results right to themselves so they can file it away for later and then get back specifically to how they answered those questions previously. So not only is it more robust, it's going to be a lot easier for users to come back to the site. Since we've launched, we're actually seeing a pretty solid utilization of that. So we can actually track, when users are coming back to the site or how many users are coming back to the site after completing those head inspection results, specifically through that email inbox. Again, all of this is confidential. We don't keep any of this data. It's all aggregate. We make sure to tell users that, hey, we're not keeping any of this. We're not trying to clutter up your inbox. This is just a one send, so they can store it away for themselves. But yes, we are really excited about our head inspection results page. Again, much more robust. It'll allow us to understand user behavior, and again, at the aggregate level, to understand how users are scoring and what are those next steps that they're actually taking after they've learned a little bit about where they're at.
We noticed there is a new feature on the website called Telehealth Connector. Can you talk about what this is and how those visiting the website can use it?
Anytime we're talking about mental or behavioral health, it can be a full spectrum in terms of where users are at, from the point of, I might not associate mental health with my overall health, to I know I'm struggling with this specific topic and I'm just looking for some resources, down to, okay, now I understand where I'm at. I've accessed some resources, and now's the time I'm ready to actually, speak with a professional. So we understand with Man Therapy and the brand that we want to be able to serve users regardless of where they're at, from very beginning to actually accessing treatment. So the telehealth connector and this experience made a lot of sense to actually round out, how we can best serve our users and make a greater impact. Certainly there's a really large landscape of now digital and telehealth out there. Our goal with this is to help users understand what that landscape entails. We did our best to help users very quickly understand, what costs might be associated with it, if there are resources that do accept insurance, and really what they can expect when they're, accessing professional support like that. So we did our best with this initial launch, to get some of the, the top telehealth connectors that are, again, in this landscape. So again, we can complete that full user journey from getting a user to understanding where they're at, all the way down to motivating them to actually access some treatment. And we'll continue to update this and grow this and test it, really, so that we can, again, make sure that the best and most impactful resources are present on the site.